Hey guys, Ben here and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the Legion of Superheroes TV show. So there is no news, however we're going to be talking about it and giving you an update about what's been going on and the HBO Max show that was supposed to be coming. So if you do go on to enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos later this year. So in the meantime, since we last got an update from Legion of Superheroes in regards to the HBO Max animated series that was supposed to be made, we've had obviously the DCU becoming like a proper thing. They're working on Superman. We've got other animated shows like Creature Commandos coming out. Also, we've had Crisis on Infinite Earths, an animated movie series come out in the meantime. And so I think it's gone kind of unknown as to what's been going on with this project. There's been no updates for a very long time. So I remembered about it the other day and I thought, wouldn't it be interesting to actually go back and look at those reports back in like 2022, the last time that we heard of it. So it's been nearly 2 years since we heard of anything to do with this Legion of Superheroes show that was supposed to be coming to HBO Max. Now, we first heard about this back in 2021 from the writer of the project, and I presume he would be the executive producer, Brian Michael Bendis, who is obviously very well known in DC Comics. He's written so many comic books, he's been involved in many projects, and so he was working on a Legion of Superheroes TV show for HBO Max, and the last time we heard of it was July 7th, 2022. Right now when I'm recording this video, and I've just remembered that this show was supposed to be coming, it is June 8th, 2024. So yeah, we're approaching 2 years on the last update and nearly 3 years since we first heard about the project. But yeah, so there was an update back in 2022 from Brian Michael Bendis, and he posted a photo of the Legion of Superheroes pilot script. Now, he wrote this episode by himself, and he did like 2 or 3 drafts of the pilot, and he put in the comments below, "Long live the Legion, hashtag fingers crossed." Now, obviously that means the pilot was a pitch. It was something that HBO Max did want at the time, but obviously there's been a lot of changes in the last 2 years over at Warner Brothers. So I'm fairly certain what's gone on here is, I believe that HBO Max has silently passed on the show and we've just heard no reports about it. You would have thought we would have heard a report, but I think really in the meantime it was pretty much unknown. And I mean, Brian's post only had like 8,000 likes, so I don't think a lot of people, a lot of DC fans even knew about this project. But I love the idea of a Legion of Superheroes show. Obviously we've had an animated show before. It was back in 2006. We had the Legion of Superheroes film recently, so obviously they got some mentions of this TV show back when that premiered. I believe that was, a good few months ago, a good year ago or so. And yeah, that was a great film. I enjoyed it. And it's always good to see Legion of Superheroes because obviously we got them in Supergirl. You had Mon-El, you had Imra, and some of the other characters. So they appeared in Supergirl in live action, and in the meantime, we've had this film and we saw a lot of Legion of Superheroes members in that film, the Supergirl Legion of Superheroes movie. And so I don't know what he was planning to do with this, but I believe he kind of pitched it at the wrong time. And while the studio have not ever made any statements to do with this, Brian was the one hyping it up, and I think he did that because he wasn't certain of the future of the TV show, just based on, it's an animated show, it's Legion of Superheroes, not the most well-known superhero team from DC, and yeah, it got, a big kind of boost since they appeared in Supergirl. So I think, if I'm being realistic, it probably got stuck in the pilot stage around that time, and I don't think he got much further. And if I give you an update in terms of what Brian's doing right now, you'll understand that clearly it's on the back burner, or it's been totally canned and they're just not moving forward with this project. I don't know if it's on the side of Brian or if it's on the side of HBO Max, but I'm definitely leaning towards it's the side of HBO Max, basically not wanting to pick up the show based on maybe what they saw in that pilot script. Maybe they didn't think it would make enough money. I mean, even a show like Young Justice that is super popular is very much so in limbo right now. Hasn't been cancelled, hasn't officially ended, but it hasn't been picked up for any future seasons in a long time. So yeah, I think right now there is not much precedent to say DC animation TV wise is super big apart from Harley Quinn, because Harley Quinn did well, it has an audience and it's available on HBO Max, so you would think more DC animated projects will come to Max, but it seems as well, maybe at the time when he was trying to get things going, that's probably around the time where they started thinking about bringing in James Gunn, bringing in someone to run a DC Studios, and maybe they were thinking of animated projects, and obviously Creature Commandos is coming out now, so that's obviously the main animated TV show that they're working on. So if we have a look at what Brian's been doing recently, back in February it was announced that he signed an Amazon First Look deal, which basically means he's going to be working pretty much full time on Amazon projects, and so that doesn't really bode well considering he's not, you know, going to have his time to focus on Warner Brothers related projects, DC projects. So that very much so leans towards the idea that, yeah, this is dead. This is not going to happen. But also don't expect any announcements. If Max has canned it, they've done it quietly. They never made an announcement. So why would they announce that it's ending or, you know, it's not coming to fruition? They would not do that. So I think that's part of the reason that I wanted to make this video, just to give you guys an update, because I know a lot of you back when this was first announced, like roughly 2 years ago, I remember making a couple of videos and lots of you were very excited for a Legion TV show, and I just wanted to kind of give you an update. So he's developing Jinx, Pearl and Murder Inc. into TV shows, so those are respective graphic novels, comics, and so he's been working on that, or he is working on that right now. And so yeah, this is to do with Dark Horse Comics rather than DC Comics. So I think for a good while he's going to be focused on those Amazon projects, on the projects that they have picked up. Okay, so that pretty much does it for that section of the video. I've talked about Elseworlds projects before, but I want to get into that a little bit because this is an example of an Elseworlds project that is going nowhere. However, if we look at Smallville and what I talked about earlier this week, because we got a little bit of an update from Michael Rosenbaum that the animated TV show sequel that they want to do to Smallville is at a good stage. They've done some animation and is ready to pitch. They've got a lot of support behind it, like they've got everyone on board. So basically that's at really a better stage compared to this, despite Brian Michael Bendis working on that pilot a while ago. But yeah, in terms of the future of Elseworlds projects, I think the Smallville one is a better example of something that's probably going to go ahead, because it just seems like everything is kind of ticking over. But then there's other Elseworlds projects. The question is, how many are we going to be getting in the near future? In the next 5 years, I really reckon it's going to be a very small amount. It's going to be Joker related, it's going to be Batman related, and maybe a couple of projects here and there. But I feel DC's main focus right now is 100% going to be all on the DCU, and I think they're right for doing that because they've got to build it and they got to do it right, kind of like how the Arrowverse did it right. Obviously, you know, they didn't have as many mediums that they had to cover. Yeah, the Arrowverse went into animation with Vixen and Freedom Fighters, which was ambitious and kind of similar to what the DCU is going to be doing, because it's going to be actors who voice the characters in animation. They're going to come to live action, just like when we had Melissa Benoist as Overgirl in Freedom Fighters The Ray, or like when we had Grant Gustin and Stephen Amell in Vixen back in season 1, you know, voicing their own characters, and then obviously they came to live action as well. So what I'm trying to say is I don't think there's going to be anything as ambitious in terms of the Elseworlds projects like the Arrowverse for any time in the near future. However, I think when it comes to them setting up the DCU, and once they've got to a good stage, I think they would definitely be open to exploring new projects, and I believe that is part of the reason why they haven't actually pitched the Smallville TV show yet, despite being at a really good stage, and that's because they know DC is full throttle, focusing on the DCU, trying to get Superman done, Peacemaker done, move on to Waller, move on to Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, move on to Lanterns, go Booster Gold. You know, they have so many projects. They're still finishing Creature Commandos, which is supposed to come out in the fall this year. So yeah, they got so many projects, and clearly that's their focus. But I think the time will come for Elseworlds, and it's just going to be a little bit of a waiting game for now. But obviously DCU is going to be great, I think, and they've obviously got the resources and they've got the whole backing of Warner Brothers to get this perfect, unlike the mess that was the DCEU. So that pretty much does it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment. It would really help this video get out there. I know this isn't a news related video, but I thought I would go back to a topic that I realized, you know, was interesting, and the fact that we've heard nothing about this in like 2 years. And I think it was a project that was very ambitious and would have been great, considering Legion is a great team up concept. And I think Brian Michael Bendis was a good choice to write the screenplay, and it's just a shame that it's probably never going to happen. And so yeah, this is just my update, kind of looking at what Brian has done and also talking a little bit about Elseworlds as well. So for now, please be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications to not miss any future videos, and you can click on the top right corner of the screen to watch my latest video, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.